Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another car video. The weight scale only tells a part of the story. The weight scale. Alright, Body Game Nation. This is something, it was a couple things that made me even think about this. A couple things. One, as far as the weight scale, weigh yourself ideally maybe once a month, but if you really want to know, maybe once a week at the most, because honestly your weight will go up and down. Because I remember when I was at the gym and I was asking a personal trainer to test my body fat and weight, and they say, you just worked out, right? I was like, yeah. It's like, it's not a good time because your weight will go up. And I always remembered that. Like, the best time is to weigh yourself in the morning first thing. And even then, it depends on what type of scale you got. But I thought about that because I usually weigh myself on Mondays, the beginning of the week, see what I need to knock off from the weekend. But Sunday, I weighed myself in the morning. Okay, I had a certain weight. And then I weighed myself again 24 hours later in the morning and had lost 3 pounds. Except I ain't doing any working out or anything. In fact, Sundays are lazy days for me. So, wait, hold on a second. All right, I had to yell at someone. Holler at somebody. That's a better way of saying it. Anyway, so that's one of the things. So I had lost 3 pounds. It was like, well, I ain't doing anything because, conventional wisdom, oh, you worked out, you did all this cardio. Which, yeah, I'll say something about cardio in a bit. But, I did all that stuff. Like, nothing really. Just hung out with my son. My other son was sick, so he was, had the flu. So he stayed home with his mom. So I was just hanging out with my oldest. And we didn't really do much. Went out, got something to eat, and then I was chilling, watching games most of the day. Man, that Minnesota Buffalo game, that was the craziest few minutes I've ever seen in a ball game. Oh my God, how the fuck you all you had to do is exchange from center to quarterback and just get out of the end zone, you win the game. Josh Allen fumbled in the end zone. Damn. That was the craziest finish I've ever seen. Craziest. But, and watch out for Minnesota. I've always been a Kirk Cousins fan because Washington was stupid for letting them go. But watch out for Minnesota. But anyway, I was just chilling. I wasn't doing much, You ain't do anything extra. I took my regular amount of shits. But it was still, 3 pounds. But it goes up and down. And something else made me think about that too. Wait, hold on again. Something else made me think about that too, right? It was, someone on one of my last few videos, it said they've been working out 3 years, but they didn't notice a loss in their weight and everything. They didn't notice a weight loss, right? And, that was the thing. Their scale was the same, but they say they were lifting, doing all this stuff. And I told them, I used the example of a man who might be like two men. Both are 250 pounds. But one is 40% body fat and the other is 15. But they weigh the same thing. See, one of the things, that's why you got to take it with a grain of salt. You can't just go by the number. You just can't go by the number because you got to take other stuff into consideration. Like muscle, there's a myth that muscle weighs more than fat, but it weighs the exact same thing. But it still weighs. So Like the guy who's 6 feet, 250, but 15% body fat, he just simply got more muscle. So it's like even the weight, don't just say, well, you lose 20 pounds. Well, maybe if you working out, you lifting, you might lose 20 pounds of fat, but then if you really lifting, shoot, that's turning into 20 pounds of muscle. And you weighing the same thing. So you got to take it with a grain of salt. You gotta take it with a grain of salt. The key number is the body fat. Now the best way, the scale I got actually test my body fat. Now, no, I ain't no damn under 10%. Don't need to be. Because real quick, at my age, like 19% body fat is excellent at my age. Because body fat increases as you get older just naturally. And it really should, just for health reasons. Because if you got too little, that's actually a problem. That's why I say if you get people be talking about 7, you gotta be 5% body fat. Those are like extreme bodybuilders, and everything. And then even they, once they're not competing, they let it come back on because fat actually is, you need a certain healthy amount of fat anyway, just as long as it's not too much, Like I say, if it's in the teens, that's excellent, regardless of your age or anything. That's excellent in the teens. Like, don't get caught up in stuff. And then it depends on how much weight that you actually have on you. And even that can be distribution and everything. Because you have some guys, they got body fat is evenly spread all over their body. Because, see, one thing that's not talked about, it depends on where the fat is. Like, you got some solidly built guys, and, somebody might say, well, their body fat's in the 20s. But if you look at them, they just solid, and everything's spread out. It's not concentrated, And that's why you got to, okay, you weigh so much, but then if you can find maybe a scale, and the best scale is one that does test body fat. It's usually got some strips on it. It sends like an electric current through you. I found they the most accurate for testing body fat. Now, a lot of people say calipers, but you really have to know what you're doing with the calipers. You really have to know what you're doing, because you got to get certain spots on you. You got to get certain spots on you, average out the number, test it. Like, have a pro, if you're going to get it used that way, have a personal trainer who specializes in that test you out. But if you buy a weight scale that also has a body fat tester, that can give you a good idea. And even that, like I said, you can't really go by the weight number. You can't go by the weight number. Like I said, somebody could be 6 feet, 250, but they just solid muscle. Then somebody else, 6 feet, 250, but they're obese. So that's one of the things. So, and I said I was going to say something about cardio. Now, this is a personal view. And it's actually a lot of personal trainers have said the same thing, which I don't talk about it a lot, but I was certified as a personal trainer back in the 90s, but I haven't renewed it. And yes, I had 1,000 jobs. And real quick, I know sometimes people say, hey, Rob said he did this, he did this, he did this. Yeah. I'm a hustler, baby. Shit. I'm that type of dude when I was working in the government, was working part-time at the gym, and had a publishing business. I'm a hustler, baby. Shit. It's just that simple. Shit, even now, if I wanted to, I could get a job. If I wanted to. I don't have time, though. Gotta make these videos for y'all. But trust me, I'm a hustler, baby. I stay busy. One of my things is I overwork, too, so. Anyway, talking about that cardio, I'm gonna tell you what, this is a personal view, because there's a lot of personal trainers, even some advertisements I've seen on these videos. They'll say, hey, all that time on the treadmill and stuff ain't gonna do it for you. Now, that's good for increasing your endurance, getting your blood circulating, but usually don't lose any weight. I've seen some people that get on the treadmill all the time. They look the same. you know? Because first of all, for weight loss, it's more about limiting calories. But I'm going to say this, the best cardio are just movement exercises. Movement, you know, burpees and jumping jacks, stuff like that. Anything where you're just moving, or just pure running or walking, because it puts a different type of pressure on you. But just even if not, like doing some low resistance exercises and stuff, high intensity exercises, things of that nature. Because when I do cardio, like I warm up on some, but that's just get the blood flowing, getting warmed up. Actually, when I'm doing cardio, you know, I like to do different things, you know, medicine ball, you know, intervals with the rowing machine, stuff like that. And even then, just spending 5 to 10 minutes on each thing. And really, if you do like some supersets, just lifting, you can get a lot done. You can get a lot done just doing supersets. Or something I still gotta do, because months ago I said I was gonna do like what I call a 5-course, like 15 reps of 5 different exercises for the chest, straight, no rest. But I had to build back up to it. I can do 50 straight right now, because moving and everything in this summer, a lot done, got out of that, so I got built back up to that. But it's actually very good. It actually works. And then just building stuff. And let me say something real quick about muscle memory, because it was leg day today, and I was doing some lunges, like walking across the gym floor, just lunging across the gym floor. I hadn't done that since 2019. And I remember the first time I did those walking lunges, the first time I did it, shoot, because the personal trainer had me doing them, 2018. Shoot, first of all, I couldn't get my knee all the way down to the floor. I couldn't get my knee all the way down to the floor. And I was walking out of there with a serious hamstring. Serious pull. And I was like, did it for the first time in a few years. It was just easy today. And that was part of a superset too. That was a superset with some leg presses, alternating leg presses. This is a leg press like you could do it together, both legs, or I forgot what the exact machine is called, or all you do is pull a latch and then push it out, hold one side in place, and then go up and down with the other one, and then do the lunges. Because never skip leg day. Well, most of y'all can't skip it. Rom can get away with it, got the genetics, but I'm going to say for the average person, don't skip leg day, because it actually generates testosterone. Your power comes from your legs. Your power comes from your legs. So, but getting back to that whole weight thing, you know, the biggest thing is what your body fat is and how you carry it and everything. And I'm going to be real. I've known some dudes who, you know, you look at them and you think, yeah, they're obese and more endomorphic types, but they could ball like crazy, athletic as hell. I've met some dudes like that. Like, think about those, like some of those defensive lineman types, or even some offensive linemen. People don't realize, like in football, people don't realize how fast, how much speed some of those offensive linemen got. Because think about it, they got to have enough speed to get out and block for those running backs. They got to be rolling, and they be carrying some weight on them. See, and ultimately, I'm gonna tell you what. Even with weight, because some people think, well, you gotta be this, you gotta be super lean. Please. It depends on how much you carry. Because I met some dudes, 300 pounds. I remember I played in this church football league with this one dude. He was over 300, early 90s. So that was really big then. But that dude could rumble. That dude could roll. That dude he started blocking. He just tell whoever's running behind him. He was like, yeah, come on. He's fast as shit. I met some dudes. It is all in how you carry it. Because ultimately, that's what it is, how you move and everything. Because I've seen some big men, they move. And somebody say, oh, they need to lose weight or something. But, and they be getting some fine-ass women, too. But it's all in how you carry it. Because if you athletic and you carry it well, then one thing is important is the distribution of it too. Where is the weight at on you? You know, how much can you move? Because I would say in general, as long as your core is decent, you can still do something. As long as your core, that's around your waist, your stomach area, and your stomach, you know. Like I said, I've said it before, that's more about how you eat and how you shit. More about how you eat and how you shit. So if you keep that pretty much under control, no matter what the rest of you is like, you're doing pretty good. You're doing pretty good. But yeah, when you step on that scale though, yeah, that's one indicator, but like I said, a body fat, or one that measures body fat too, is actually a better indicator. You know, how much do you have? Make sure it's healthy. Make sure you can carry it well. Because one of the things too, and this is pure genetics. Now I know there was a he wasn't a detractor, but it got triggered whenever I would talk about genetics. Everybody got a certain body weight and everything that they can. Everybody got a certain body weight or body build, and depending on their genetics, how they can carry it. You know, how they carry it and stuff, and you really can't change it. Because this dude I was triggering, he was thinking, oh, you could just change it. I remember under another name. He don't think I can recognize his writing style. He was thinking like, oh yeah, if somebody just play a sport, they could play a position in the sport. Psh, please. Any athletic coach will tell you, nah, there's certain body types. Like I remember a track coach saying he can go in any school, he can tell you who the sprinters are. Because there's a tendency for sprinters to be good sprinters to have like at least, you know, some bow in their legs, slightly bow-legged or something, at least. Ooh, guess what? I'm slightly bow-legged. Anyway, plus that drives women crazy because they see those bow legs, they be thinking, oh, okay, you got a big one down there. That's some old school stuff. Women be going crazy. They say, damn, he bow-legged too. Oh shit. But seriously though, like any athletic coach, they can tell you. They looking at the body type and everything. That's why, you know, that's why certain body builds can play certain positions. You know, like if somebody, like in football, somebody's built more like on the slimmer side. Oh yeah, they could probably play cornerback or something like that, but you probably wouldn't line them up on defensive line. At the same time, that defensive line probably ain't gonna cover a wide receiver. You know? So but my point is, and it's also why I always say, just get your best body build. Your best body build. Don't try to be somebody else's body build. You know? Because genetics make a big difference. And I saw that with my two sons. Like I said, anybody seen my sons? My oldest son, he's like about 6'3". He's more on the slimmer side. He's more ectomorphic. But he was actually born that way. Saw that as a baby. And then his brother came out looking like, shit, his brother about 5'9". But he'll be that type, be a bodybuilder or something. Because he came out the womb looking like he was bench pressing. And it is what it is. It ain't gonna change too much. Because the oldest is ectomorphic. Youngest is more the oldest is ectomorphic. The youngest is more endomorphic. But it's actually, the youngest is actually the better athlete. He's the better athlete. Yeah. So it's all in how you carry it, what your genetics are. That's why I say get your best. Don't worry about being something you can't. You know, if you're not built, if you're more on the endomorphic side, don't try to be ectomorphic or super slim or anything. I mean, if you even get to that point, you got a health issue. You got a health issue. And that's something that really, and I'm really serious about that, because you get a lot of guys, they thinking in terms of changing their whole bodies. And it's not going to happen without plastic surgery. Which, ironically, you got some guys using plastic surgery to get those bigger chests and calves and everything. But stick with your genetics, because that's why I always say it, because then there's going to be certain women who like it. Pay attention to the women who like your natural body, and they the ones who, that's going to make them more receptive by itself. And that's a DNA thing. Don't fight it. Don't fight it at all. Just use it. Pay attention. Because like I say, I pay attention to the women who like my general body build. You know? And they always got fat asses. They either got fat asses or big old legs. They be exactly what I like. Most of them. Be getting some slim ones too, but they like specifically what I'm offering. And see, that's the thing. You know, just be comfortable, carry yourself, and be healthy, regardless of anything else. As long as you can healthily carry something, you know, that's the key. You know, as long as you comfortable. If you feel, no matter what your weight is, if you feel sluggish or you don't feel lethargic or you feel like you're carrying too much, okay, lose some. Or if you don't feel like that power, you might have to put on some. You know, as long as you're comfortable with your body, you know. Because I'm just coming from the gym. I saw this big old dude. I mean, big old brother. He looked like he body slammed some shit. But that motherfucker was swole like a motherfucker. You know. Look like you want him on you look like you want him rushing your quarterback, rushing the other team's quarterback or something. But he looked comfortable. He moved comfortably. And that's the key. You know, because ultimately, and I've said this before about body game, it's not necessarily trying to look like a certain type. Because I don't like when, you know, because you get some guys saying you gotta be this, gotta have. Say no, you just gotta be your best and comfortable with it. Because here's the key: if you're comfortable with yourself, that gives you confidence. That gives you confidence in yourself, and you move a different way, and women peep it. That's why you get some big men who cool with being big men. You know, they'll shit. They be like barbecuing in the winter or something in the garage or something. They don't give a fuck. But they be having the women because they're comfortable with this shit. So that's a very important thing. But anyway, though, I'm at the stall. I go get my food. See you up in here and get a few things. Yeah, ain't even Thanksgiving yet. They got the Christmas shit out. So, anyway, though. That's all I have for today, y'all. Yeah. Oh, one more thing about football. Those Commanders. I don't know what it is about Heineke. He just managed to win. Yeah. Oh, y'all Eagles fans. Y'all were talking some shit to Rom last time when y'all beat us. We're talking now, though. Eagles still going to be a tough team. They still a Super Bowl contender in my view. But the Commanders beat y'all last night, though. Hey, yeah. Y'all be in the playoffs. If we be home watching it. We don't give a fuck. We beat y'all last night. Anyway. I get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.